weekend I did on a Friday I did 2 to 10. Then I slept in at the at work, like I did a sleeping shift. On Saturday I did 8 to 10. So I didn't go home in like almost 3 days. I did 8 to 10. I did a sleeping shift. And then on Sunday, I did 8 to 10 before I went home. When I went home, exhaustion. I was exhausted. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Wogu. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber who moved from England, United Kingdom to Alberta, Canada. And if this is your first time watching any of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I make videos about lifestyle, travel, freelancing, and everything in between. So if you're ready to level up your life in 2025, this is the channel to follow. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys why I left healthcare in the UK to move to Canada as a permanent resident. If you want to know, please stick around and grab a glass of anything that sparks joy in your life. Let's get into this video. Now, it's very important to know that healthcare is not something that I practiced in my home country. I was not into healthcare at all. The closest I came to healthcare was when I had to visit the hospital, or when I was much younger, my father wanted me to be a doctor, which, as you can see, did not work out, okay? But I'm not about to tell you guys my life story here. We're just going to go straight into the story of like me getting into healthcare and how I decided that, that's not for me. First things first was me in Nigeria. My experience in Nigeria has always been in marketing communications, except when I worked in the bank as an operational risk management analyst, and it was an internship in my third year. And the funny thing is, my department, we're not even known for internships like that. It's not our thing. Like, I studied English, so we don't do compulsory internships, but I've always been a very ambitious person, and I'm not about to spend my holiday. I do when I know my mates abroad were seriously doing internships. I was not about to spend my own holiday. I would always look for something to do during the holiday, and that's how I found and applied for that particular internship. Or a classmate of mine told me about it, and I applied and wrote the assessments and passed and got a job in that big commercial bank, which helped me in my corporate career. It taught me how to write emails, a whole lot of things that I actually learned from that job. After that, my experience after that has just been in marketing communications, full stop. I've just only done marketing communications. My experience has always been in marketing communications. Now, moving to the UK. Fast forward to moving to the UK as a student in 2022. I needed to get a job in the country and just start earning in pounds. I had rent to pay. I had a whole lot of things to pay for, groceries to pay for. It was so expensive. School fees cost a whole lot. I needed to find a job, like a part-time job, to sustain myself. And one of my housemates then introduced me to domiciliary care. So she told her boss about me, and I got into domiciliary care. Oh my god. It was so difficult, okay? It was so difficult. That's the hardest job that I've ever done. Like, I've not done any job as difficult as domiciliary care in my entire life. It didn't have to be that hard. But the thing is, aside from the job being hard, it also does not even pay well. And I don't have anything with people doing domiciliary care. I think that's amazing. What kept me going in that job was the people that will support the clients, because they were so nice. They were super kind to me. That's what kept me going. However, even remembering my experience in domiciliary care is bringing me like at the point of tears. I'm actually at the point of tears, because I knew how much I would cry when I come back home. I'll leave the house at 6:30 in the morning and return past 10 p.m. at night. So that's a long day, and at the end of the day, I'm not even making up to £100. So I'm spending all of this time working really hard, like putting in the work to get this job, like to do this job that was not even in my field in any way. And at the end of the day, I'm not even getting up to £100. Like that was really heartbreaking for me. The job was so hard. It was so stressful. Anytime I have to go to work, I used to have panic attacks. I used to dread going to work, because it's like a long day, and by the time I come back home, I am exhausted. I'm so tired, but I didn't have any other option. I had to do what I had to do. Okay, I had to do what I had to do to survive. And the UK I have like bittersweet memories of the UK. It was it was really hard for me in the UK. Okay, I struggled a lot, like with my mental health, with a whole lot of things. I actually struggled a lot in the UK. Most times I don't like to talk about it. I just like to pretend that some things that happened to me in the UK never happened, because like I went through a lot in the UK. Now I did that job because, like I said, I didn't have any other option until I told my friend about introducing me to where she works, like the agency that she works in, because I knew that those who worked in other places, they were earning more. And I know that you don't go into healthcare for the money, you go into help, you go into support people. However, bills have to be paid, and the job is so hard and tedious. Like, all your body is legit paining you, and when you're done, when I'm after spending the long day, I'm not making up to I don't understand. I'm not making up to $100. I don't get it. So my friend used to work with an agency, and they used to send her to care homes. And I knew that those working in those agencies and those working in care homes, like when they do a long day, for instance, 8 to 8, like 12 hours, I've done 7 to 10 before. When they do long hours like that, they make over £100, even though it was a minimum wage job. And me, I'm even doing longer hours, and I'm not making up to it. I don't understand. So I was like, see, put me through. Let me just explain to me. Let me know. Link me up. So she did link me up with like her boss. So I started working with them, and that was like better for me. That was really good for me. Okay, the agency was sending me to different care homes, so I was working in different care homes around Hertfordshire. Though I did the first one, and to be honest, it was not as difficult as that one that you're driving up and down and then you're not getting paid. And then the pay was better. It was still minimum wage though, but the pay was way better for me. I'll be posted to different care homes until like some of them liked me, and then I started working. Like, I was not consistent in some care homes. So the normal things that you do when you're working in healthcare. Like, I don't need to mention all of the things that you do, but then they were kind of milder for me. I'm not saying that the job was easy, because it was hard. I'll have backache when I come back home, and the hours were so freaking long. Like, the work-life balance that I'm having in Canada, I'm still trying to get used to it. That's all. Because in Lagos, until I started working remotely, when I used to go out and work in Lagos, like work in an office in Lagos, by the time I come back home, it's late. Okay, Lagos traffic. So every time that I've worked in an office, I've always been really exhausted. Even anytime that I've gone out of my house to work, I've always been really exhausted. When I come back, I don't have the energy to do anything. I'm so exhausted. But the thing about the care homes that I actually worked in instead of domiciliary care was that I was not dreading going to work the next day. For domiciliary care, I used to get scared and terrified. Like, whenever I remember that I have to go to work the next day, I'm just like shaking. I'm having panic attacks. I am so scared. And when the day is rounding up, I used to be very happy. But even sometimes, if I'm even working 2 days in a week, like, I'm already panicking from the next day. Like, when it's the new week and I know that maybe I'm working Wednesday, I'm working Friday, I am panicking for the Wednesday shift, and then on Wednesday I'm panicking for the Friday shift. Like, I am having panic attacks for that, and my mental health was not good. Then one time the agency posted me to this particular home. I think the home has closed down, as they should. As they should. Okay, they didn't have remote to raise the bed up. They didn't have any of that stuff. Like when you're trying to like care for someone, just so that you will not hurt your back too much, because you will hurt your back. I don't know. There's no how you will hurt your back. There's no way around it. You will have backache. Simple and short. You will have the backache. So you raise the bed a little bit just so that you don't bend too much. There was no remote to raise this bed. And then the person that I was supposed to like support was a double. Like, double means 2 people like supporting the person, like one person here, one person here. And it was just me. So I had to I don't even want to go into that, but I knew that when I went home that day, my back was on fire. I was in my house, then I was like, my back is paining me. Like, it is, I didn't know what to, like I said, and they gave me a lot of shifts in that place, like loads of shifts. But I can't go back to that place again. So I also called my mom and I was like, I don't think like the place I walked into, my back is paining me. And she was like, you're not going back there. And I'm like, oh, I need to go back there, because I I knew that I didn't want to go back there, but I had bills. Oh my god, I had bills to pay, like loads of bills to pay. So what was I going to do? So my mom was able to convince me not to. My mom was able to convince me not to go back there, and I had to call like my agency, and I'm like, I cannot go. You need to cancel all of the shifts that I have already. Cancel it. Please give me a place that I'm already familiar with. But that, I think for the whole week, I don't think I worked for the whole week. My back hurts me so much. It hurt me so freaking much, and I was in so much. I did domiciliary care and all of that. So once that domiciliary care that I did, it messed with my mental health. My mental health was not the greatest. I was at the lowest point of my life then. I used to have, like I said, I used to have panic attacks. I used to dread waking up. I used to dread going to work. Like if I have work in 2 or 3 days time, my mental health is already messed up before when I have that particular shift. So I didn't like that, and I didn't know if that's what I wanted to continue. The next reason that I am like, I told myself that I would need a break from healthcare is the long hours. The hours. It's not just 8 to 8. I've done 7 to 10 before. What are you saying? I've done 7 to 10 before. I've done 8 to 10. 8 to 8, like 12-hour shifts are even great, okay? 12-hour shifts are great. I will do 8 to 9. I will do 7 to 10. I will do 10 to 10. Sometimes there's one day, like it was a weekend, I did on a Friday, I did 2 to 10. Then I slept in at work, like I did a sleeping shift. On Saturday, I did 8 to 10. So I didn't go home in like almost 3 days. I did 8 to 10. I did a sleeping shift. And then on Sunday, I did 8 to 10. Before I went home, when I went home, exhaustion. I was exhausted. Like, and this is like something that is really common. My mom usually feels for me. The hours are so long. They are so freaking long. Like, they were so much for me. Like, I will come back home and I will bawl my eyes out. And it's not just like going to work. Most times, like, you even, things happen at work, okay? Like, there are people that I've had someone spit on me, like, this man like spitting on me consistently because of my so that was basically that. She was like, oh, you're not from here, go away, go back. I've had people tell me to go back to where I'm coming from, like, and I'm here to work. Do you understand? So it was the hours, my mental health, the hours were so freaking long, and I was just grossly unhappy. Nothing is wrong with working in healthcare. I always say I liked the people that I supported. Most of the people, like I liked a whole lot of people that I supported. For most of them, they still reach out to me till now, okay? And I know that it taught me patience. It taught me a whole lot of things. But I'm not going to come on here and tell you that is an easy work. It's hard work. And I know that there's no work or there's no job that is easy. But healthcare for me, it was very difficult. Like, it was very difficult for me and my mental health. It was so freaking hard. It was so freaking hard for me. I don't even know. Like, if you knew me when I was working in healthcare, you know some of the challenges that I had to encounter when I worked there. It was so hard and I just needed a break. But I couldn't even get... Sometimes, like, in the beginning stage of my work and all of that, sometimes you don't have shifts, and I don't even blame the care homes because they want to cut costs, and using agencies cost more money. So most times, you go to a home and you've gotten used to working in that home, you've gotten used to the residents, you like it there, you've kind of gotten a routine, and all of a sudden, like, they don't want the agency anymore because they've hired more members of staff, so they have to like post you to somewhere else, and you have to start getting used to new residents, new everything again, a new route when you're going to work, like a new routine basically. And that's also not the easiest one, okay? That's also not easy. So it was really, really like difficult for me. Like, when I said UK was hard for me, it was really hard for me. I'm grateful to the UK because, like I said, I also did a bit of corporate jobs in the UK. I worked briefly with a venture capitalist company as a PR and communication strategist. It was a contract and I was working part-time. I also worked with an agency as a sales and marketing consultant, and I pay. Let's talk about the pay now. Let's not pretend that the pay is not important. I mean, if you want, like, the pay was actually minimum wage, which is not a bad thing. Like I said, I don't have anything against minimum wage, but I wanted more for myself. Like, I came to that country, I studied for a master's. I studied hard for a master's. I paid a whole lot of money for a master's, and I really wanted like something that was not minimum wage. I wanted to earn more because I'm working like hard. I was working hard. The hours were long. I was having backache and all of that. So it's only come normal if I want to make more money, if I want to earn more, instead of like struggling and struggling. And at the end of the month, you don't really have anything to show, because when you pay rent and all the other bills, you're almost left with nothing. So I really wanted more, and it was not giving me more. It was not giving me work-life balance. It was not giving me money. It was not giving me good mental health. And I was also in pain. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I like working with these people and all, but to be very honest, like I really need an intervention, God's intervention, like at this point, because I will go home and bawl my eyes out. Maybe something happens at work and we had an incident or something, or you take someone out and an incident happens and all of that. I would not at work. When I come back home, I will bawl my eyes out. I'll cry and be like, is this what I'm here for? And I to be honest, I actually considered moving back to Nigeria. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. When I was in the UK, I was like, I want to go back. Like, let me go home, okay? Let me go home. And when I tell people this, and they'll be like, oh, you've paid a lot of money for these masters. Like, I mean, I'm like, yeah, that's the reason that I want to go home. Because if I paid a lot of money for these masters, and then nothing is wrong with this job, but I'm tired of it. Like, I am tired of it. I'm exhausted. I'm not, like, I'm barely living from paycheck. I'm living from, which barely? I'm living from paycheck to paycheck here. With all of this stress and all of this backache and all of these mental health problems and this long commute and everything that is going on, and sometimes the abuse that you even face at your place of work, and then you have to still continue to that I worked in were very far from where I lived. So you'd see me on my way to work, maybe around, if I'm resuming by 7, I'll wake up at 4:30. Try to get out of the house by 5 so I can get to work by 7. And most times, like, I'll be a little bit late, so it was too far. Coming back, the same thing. It was 9. I would finish by 9, from 7 in the morning, sometimes till 9 p.m. And when I'm done by that 9, most times there will not be any bus, or if there's a bus, maybe just one bus. So I'll just be alone on the lonely road waiting for a bus. Most times the bus will not show up. If you know the bus system in that Hertfordshire area, I don't want to mention that particular bus. It is really late, or it's a delay, and I'll just be there alone in that lonely road, like crying. And how many times will I take an Uber? I didn't have a car. I know you would say, oh, if you had bought a car, things would have been easier for you. But to be very honest, it was really difficult for me. Working in healthcare is not for the faint-hearted, to be very honest. It's hard. It requires patience. It requires empathy. It taught me a whole lot of things: how to be more patient, how to be more empathetic, and how to, relate with different people. I like what it exposed me to. It exposed me to the healthcare field, gave me experience in the healthcare field. Like, I know a whole lot of things going on in this field now. I also have like a bit of experience now working with non-profits. So actually, like, I'm very grateful for my experience there, especially the fact that my hard work I used my hard work experience to finally get PR. However, will I go and do it again from scratch or something? The answer is no, especially the domiciliary care. Anybody that is doing it, like, if it's working for you, you are God's strongest soldier. That thing is so hard. It's so hard. And I know that you say it's the same thing, but you know what? Driving from 6:30 to 10, and at least the other ones I was doing, when at the end of the day, I will be making £120, £130 if I do those long hours and all of that. But this one, no, absolutely not. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. If it's something that you're passionate about, like, good luck, and I'm very happy that you're actually passionate about it. And may God continue to strengthen you, give you the strength to carry on. However, if you're exhausted about it, I'm also like holding your hands to say that I see you. I understand. I understand a bit of what you're going through. I cannot say I understand exactly what you're going through, because I do not like it when someone tells me that they understand exactly what I'm going through. Because even if it's the same situation that we are in, you don't understand exactly what I'm going through. So I can relate with your challenge, but hang in there. I know that it will get better eventually. Everything will get better eventually. But if you want to know one of the reasons that I moved and why I left healthcare to move to Canada as a permanent resident, this is the honest truth. Like, aside from the many other things, I didn't talk about this. I have a whole video where I talked about why I moved, but this situation is different. So I'll always say, when you're trying to move to a new country, you need to be very cautious about the kind of friends that you're making and the company that you're keeping. Because if you're with people that will constantly say, oh, this is not possible, you can't get it, like nobody gets this thing, like you might start thinking like that. So I'm not saying that anything is wrong with working in healthcare. Like if you like it, like I'm very, very happy for you and I'm very proud of you. However, if you don't, if you want to do something better, if you're looking for other opportunities, just keep at it. Eventually everything will fall in place. That's all I'm trying to say here. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you've worked in healthcare, what's your favorite part? For me, it was working in homes. It was working in homes. I did not like domiciliary care at all. So it was working in homes. I liked working in homes. It gave me a bit of structure. The pay was not so bad too. So I miss working in healthcare. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.